Now, one thing I want to share with everyone, which I have actually not covered in the past 160 plus hours of pre-recorded trainings, okay? I've not covered, for some reason, maybe it just didn't click. But it clicked me and I was like, this is one thing that most people don't do. And I do it very instinctively because I've been doing it for so long. I just don't, it's almost like I didn't pick it up, which is when you are selling, you're speaking with an agent and you need them to give you that deal, or for that matter, you're selling anything. You're selling a deal to an investor, or you're looking for an investor to invest in you. It doesn't matter where you are, which context you're in. As long as you're trying to persuade someone to give you a yes, there's one thing which makes the biggest difference. John, do you want to tell us? Maybe you might be able to pick it up. Might pick it up. What's the main one thing that makes the biggest difference in persuading someone?
Getting a no.
No. No. No. Anyone wants to try? Falaka, do you want to try?
Yeah, it's understanding what they really want and meeting them in the middle.
No.
No. Knowing what their pain point is.
Yes and no. You're not quite there yet. Okay.
Like
Okay.
sometimes
Sherry, you want to try?
Yeah, like sometimes you don't edit properly, you just jump in and take it.
No. Let me share with you the epicenter of persuasion. Okay.
Is it service?
No.
Is
Let me
it
share with you the epicenter of persuasion. Okay.
is it knowing what's in it for them?
No.
No.
And believe me,
Is it understanding? Is it understanding the person? I haven't said anything yet.
No,
I
let me
haven't said
share with
nothing
you.
yet.
This is so important, okay? This is literally, if I was to make a circle of persuasion, okay? And if I made few layers on top of each other, this sits right in the epicenter, okay? This is knowing what is their biggest pain. What is their biggest pain?
That's what I was going to say, but you didn't give me a chance to say it.
No, sorry, Susan. Yeah, some of you said trying to understand them. No, learning what is their biggest
I
pain.
did say pain, Jack.
Did you say pain?
Yeah.
I maybe heard it wrong.
You said I'm almost there.
You are there. Okay? It's understanding their biggest pain. And when I say biggest pain, I'm talking about emotional pain and not the logical pain. Okay? But how do you get to that point of understanding someone's emotional pain?
Question.
How do you get to that point? Okay? This is what my experience has been in terms of getting to that pain point. If you ask why about 3, 4, or 5 times, the same question in different format, you will normally get there. Not many, I would say sometimes people don't open up, not at least the first time or the second time, okay? But if you build enough rapport, third time most people open up, okay? But initially when you're speaking with someone, these are the questions that I tend to ask, okay? Falaka, do you want to try this with me?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to try? And you can play hard, okay? You can play hard. You don't have to open up, okay? Because I know people take time sometimes, okay? So let's say I'm looking to raise investment from you, okay? And I've shown you the deal, you've seen the numbers, and then I come up to you and say, okay, so what is the reason that you are looking to invest in a development deal? Let's say it's a development. So what's the reason behind it? Why do you want to invest in a development deal? Give me a hypothetical answer, please.
Because the returns are good.
Because the returns are good. And why are you investing? So yes, I understand returns are good, but why investing into a development deal in the first place? And why is higher returns more important to you?
Well, it's important to me because then I don't have to do so many deals to be able to make the money I want to make.
So that means that time is important, that you don't necessarily want to invest time looking and analyzing lots of deals, and just one deal would make you that money. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So why do you want more time? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, I've just got, other things in life that I want to focus my time on, and they're more important to me.
Okay, give me an example of one or two, please.
I mean, mainly it's with my children. Just want to spend more time with them, and just spend time with them and see them grow more than spend time at work.
Falake, I said to you, play hard. You just gave me the reason.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, you just gave me the reason. Can you see, guys? All I did was I reframed the question in different ways, and very easily I got to the emotional reason. Okay, once you get to the emotional pain that they have, the reason they're actually investing or looking to potentially invest with you, or looking to buy or sell, or whatever context you're in, once you ask these questions of what, why, you will get to that point when you ask that question reframed in 3-4 times. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyone else wants to try hard? John, do you want to try hard?
I don't think I could try hard. I think I'd give in.
Okay. Why am I sharing this with you? Look, this session is all about understanding persuasion at the center of it, like right in the middle of it. Okay. And a lot of people I speak with, they come to me and say, oh, I can't find deals, I can't find investors, I can't find landlords, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. And every single time, I think it's just your persuasion skills. It's nothing else. You literally just have not learned to find the right people, to build that rapport, and to build that trust, and that get to that emotional reason of them taking interest in what you do in the first place. That's all there is. You don't have to play some smart trick. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is use the GROW model, but do it the right way. Remember, the first thing in persuasion is to find that emotional trigger. Okay, I remember I have shared it in one of the sessions previously as well. Okay, it's what they call emotional trigger that will allow you to be able to use that. When I say use, not in a negative way, be able to use that in that context, in that conversation, in your favor. Okay, because let's say in this context that when I was speaking with Falake here, she wants more time with family. Now, what can I do through our investment that allows Falake more time? Obviously, make more money. That's pretty obvious. But do you think, let's say if it was a £5 million deal, okay? Okay, let's say if I send Falake a holiday package, like a holiday gift thing, right? £3,000. Do you think that's a good start? It's a good start. Raise your hand if anyone here thinks it's a good start. And that is not a big deal investing £3,000 package for a £3 million investment. Raise your hand.
I would raise my hand, but I'm not sure.
So when you are negotiating stuff like that, okay, just throw in like, you know what, let me give you a small gift from my end. I'm going to send you a little gift. You'll receive it tomorrow. Okay. And that's before they've said yes. That's before they've said yes. Okay. Remember, humans, there's a principle called reciprocity. Okay. When you do a front-end product and you give it away for free, or you invest maybe a little bit of money, human reciprocity kicks in. Are you with me? How many times do you see someone sending, whiskey bottles or, something expensive in a large deal while the deal is not even done yet? John, you must have seen this.
I have. You have. I watch out that he doesn't to unbribe.
Huh?
Sometimes it can be a good gift. It can be just that I was thinking of you, and reciprocity will kick in. It doesn't matter if it's a big gift or a small gift.
It does. Yeah, even if it's a small one, it can still kick in.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that learning to use the emotional trigger in the right way will potentially help you get that big yes. Okay. It's a property deal. I mean, the property market is so buoyant at the moment. Like, I can't believe how hot it is. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better word, but I just do not know. I cannot believe how hot the market is. Okay, finding deals is just really becoming harder and harder. Okay, we've gone through 3 deals in the last month that I pulled out. 3. Okay, and it's just unimaginable just how many people are taking interest and taking deals in left, right, and center. But you just have to keep at it. And unless you don't have these persuasion skills, you're going to actually struggle more. You're going to struggle more, okay? Because with the persuasion skills and with a lot of humility, I've been lucky enough to be able to skill myself up. Even then, it's not easy, and I cannot imagine the 15-year-old, maybe the 20-year-old Jack trying to get a deal done, and I would have struggled massively because just it's a hard market. And if you, on top of that, you don't have the persuasion skills, you're going to really struggle. Okay, so at the moment it's a hard market. It's going to change. I know that it's going to change. It just cannot remain growing at 1% and 2% a month. It's just not possible. That kind of growth is impossible. So eventually the market is going to slow down. People will slow down, and it will become a bit more easier. Okay. Anyone has any questions? Because I know it's a quick one, but anyone wants to practice this with me? Falake, do you want to practice this with me more? Maybe you be the persuader now, and I am the one who is who you're trying to persuade.
Yes, Jack, I was just wondering how you can use this with estate agents, because at the moment, as you said, the property market is going very quickly, and I'm just trying to think what they're paying with it, because they're not struggling to sell their deals anyway, unless they have something that has been on the market for a long time. So they're all probably hitting their targets. I mean, that's my assumption here. So I'm just wondering, is this something that is applicable to estate agents and how to use it with them?
So maybe I can share with you my experience with estate agents. Okay.
Yep.
Estate agents, remember, I am an agent as well. Okay.
Yep.
Here is one of the biggest pains that agents have. Okay. Finding the serious investors, those who can deliver. So I would speak with, for example, 10 people who potentially take interest in the deal, and then they would propose or maybe not propose or whatever. Barely out of the 10, 1 is serious. So they look for more people who are serious investors and can deliver. That means that if they say they're going to buy, that they have the money and they have the funding ready to be able to buy. So when you speak with them, here is what I tend to do. I've shared this previously as well, Falake, okay? Which is prove that you are the serious investor, okay? And the way I do it is by showing proof of funds, by having a CV ready, okay? By showing them your LinkedIn profile and your track and what you've done, literally everything that you're all about. Share, okay? I remember I was, and let me give you this like real live example, okay? Initially, when I started viewing properties in here, in Blackpool, what I started doing was I started observing that there's only about 6 very active agents in this region, okay? 6. Out of those 6, 1 is the biggest one. So I tried finding out who the governor is. He in fact came to do one of the viewings. I remember Lavanya was there, I was there, and I think there was one more person, I think there was Kalpana there as well with me. And I remember sitting with him for nearly half an hour, chatting and sharing about what we are doing and what we're trying to achieve and how we are bringing in investment money. We are raising, external funding and so on and so forth. And then after that, guess what happened? In fact, this happened only about 10 days ago. His name is Paul Crossley. I can give you the name as well. I called him up and he didn't answer the phone. And then I texted him that I tried calling. So he called me back 20 minutes later. And do you know the first thing he said to me, Falake? He said, Jack, you don't have to tell me that you called. If you call me, I will call you back. He is the biggest commercial estate agent in this town. Okay. And do you know why it happened? I'll tell you why it happened. Okay. In the last few, so I've actually taken 2 deals from him. So I've proved myself first. So initially when I met him, I spent half an hour sitting down, telling him about myself, what we do, how we are doing things, how we are investing in the town, so on and so forth. Okay. So now we have built a little bit of rapport. Yes, no?
Yep.
Then I agreed on 2 deals. And I remember when I sent him when I sent the email of the proposal to the estate agent, he doesn't pick it up. Remember, his colleagues pick it up. So I spoke with his colleague, with the girl who works for him. There's about 4 of them actually in there. And she said that, you know, let me give you a compliment. She said, I've never seen anyone that prepared. And that was my email. Okay. So a full CV, proof of funds, all the references, pretty much everything that they needed in one single email. They needed 3 references, 1 professional, 1 personal, and 1 was that you've been a tenant. Okay. So a landlord reference. Okay. And then they asked, you know, tell us about yourself and, you know, what you've done. So I sent them a very good CV and a very solid proof of funds. Okay. And I know for sure that was eventually conveyed to the governor, Paul Crossley. Yes. And then I called him up and I said, I'm looking for a larger deal of 100 rooms. He said, get me the proof of funds. I have 3 in the pipeline and they're not going to be on the market. They're just going to come and they're going to go. I said, what kind of proof of funds you need? He goes, you know, get me whatever you have. I said, well, you know that we can get 50 to 65% from bank funding. He goes, I know that. So I said, if I get you 1/3, is that okay? He goes, yes. Okay. Can you see that these conversations from what we are planning to do to sending an email that really stands out with full proof of funds, all the references checked with a CV, and then consistently communicating with that agent has got me to a point where he said to me, you don't have to text me. If you call me, I will call you back. Falake, tell me that's what you needed.
Yep.
Not that I want you to agree with me, but it's more like, I hope you get a gist of this.
Yeah, it was just, you know, I've never really understood what the estate agents, I kind of knew what the problem was before COVID, but now the problem, you know, that has changed because they don't really need you. I mean, they have an upper hand really.
They have an upper hand. But believe me, Falake, let me share with you, okay? When you really are running a large network and large business, you'll observe 8 out of 10 people, unfortunately, are just not serious. They will come in, they will mess around. And this is with every business in the world. So people look for those 2 people or 1 person out of those 10, and they want these people to stick around.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Okay?
Yeah.
So I tend to filter people very quickly. It's the same with estate agents. They are looking for people who do not give them the pain, who just don't give them the pain. And all you want to make sure is that you build your rapport initially well, and that you become that person. Do you think that now when a deal comes to Paul, he's going to think about me? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes. I'll tell you one more thing that happened, which was a bit funny. When I was setting up my phone to send messages on WhatsApp, I ended up adding Paul's number by mistake. So one day he sent me a message saying, Jack, I'm pretty sure that these messages are not meant for me, but I just request you not to send them. And I said, Paul, no, sorry, I didn't actually mean to send these messages to you. It's my mistake. It's been set up. But guess what happened with that?
Yeah.
An error that was made by me, but then he got to know about our company, he got to check about me, he checked everything about me. Okay? So that kind of gives you a clue to sometimes even making errors can help. Okay? But I did tell him all about PE, and I did tell him about everything that I've done and I'm doing and I'm planning to do. Everything that I've done, everything that I'm doing, and everything that I plan to do. I literally shared everything with the guy. Okay? It's almost like you are taking him into your own sphere, in your own space, and building that rapport. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
remember, like
makes
I said, out of every 10 people, 8 are just not serious. And even those 2, only 1 is actually really serious. The one which is a little bit here and there. Okay. You just want to be that top 1%, top 10%. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Again, this applies to landlords as well. Let's say you are approaching directly a landlord. It's the same story. They go through the pain of going through just people who are not serious. Okay. So, and you need to learn how to build that trust, build that rapport. And the way I tend to do it is, by asking questions and not talking about myself. How many people here, every single one of you, I can ask you, when you spoke with me the first time, how much did I talk and how much did you talk? I barely spoke 10%. I can assure you that. If you ask the right questions, you will create that trust, you will create that business relationship, okay? And eventually, at some point, that business relationships becomes a fairly reasonable personal relationship as well, okay? And when you get to that point, it almost becomes like a family, okay? Then it's a lot more easier. Landlord, agent, investor, it doesn't really matter, okay? In fact, without giving a name, I can tell you that I had actually raised some funding from someone. And even though the agreement was 12 months, I called them up and I requested, I said, can I return some of your money now? And out of, of courtesy from me, I can give you some benefits. And they said, yes. I said, yes, because the deals are not happening. I didn't want to keep all that money. I literally had good £200,000 cash sitting around doing nothing. So I returned some of the money. I've kept some of the money. So at least we're not paying too much interest. And I said to them, I said, look, when the deal comes through, I'll just give you a shout. We'll do this again. And I said, we're good with that. Okay. And the only reason they accepted my request, they didn't have to. The only reason they accepted that request is because, I treat people like a family member. I treat them like insiders into the business, into the company. Okay. Is that Falake? I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Kalpana, any questions? I know you joined late.
So Jack,
you might be walking around. Yes, Shelly, go ahead.
So if I get into agency, they just quickly say we don't have, you need to register on our website and everything. If I want to try to explain to them, I'm investor, I do this, but they don't want to listen. They just say, you can go and check here. If you find anything, then you can email us. What do I do if I want to sell myself to them?
No, so yeah, it's a great question you've asked, Shelly, there. Okay, remember, human nature is skeptical. When you meet the first time someone, they're not gonna start to trust you right away. Okay. I believe it's the questions you ask and the grow models practice that will help you build that rapport. Okay. Remember, when I meet people, I just treat them like I want to be treated myself. Okay. So, let's say I meet Mr. Paul, how are you, Paul? Yeah, I'm good. Can you see this? Just how are you, Paul? Is like, I'm treating you like the way I treat myself. It's almost like that tone, that body language. Okay. And then you say, so tell me, what kind of deals have you got at the moment? I mean, we are hungry for deals.
Oh.
Can you see that? Can you see the wording? Can you see the body language, the tone? And as soon as you say that, this guy starts to think, well, this guy is not just buying one deal. He's looking for more than one deal. Does that make sense?
Okay, yes.
Okay. And then you don't necessarily need a website of your own. If you have it, that's an added advantage. But if you don't have it, build your LinkedIn profile well. Build your LinkedIn profile, because they will check your LinkedIn profile. Okay. As an agent these days, someone comes to me, proposes on £1 million deal or £500,000 deal. The first thing I do is I go and check them on LinkedIn and the company's house. Okay. So it's almost like you're being ready to build that trust, to build that rapport. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Like, I didn't have to do anything. How are you, Paul? We are literally hungry for deals, man. Tell me what's happening. What kind of deals are you getting on your table at the moment? I really want to see them. That enthusiasm, that you showing that vision, that we're looking for more than one deal, we're looking for multiple deals. That's what agents look for. I mean, someone talks to me like that, I'm all excited.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I know I'm going to sell more than one deal to this guy. Okay.
No, I go there looking for one deal. Yeah. So there's a yeah.
Okay. It's almost like it's almost like you are passing that enthusiasm that becomes contagious for them to work alongside you. Okay. But then you're treating them as if you're treating like a friend. Tell me, what kind of challenges are you facing in your industry at the moment? And they will turn up to you and say, you know what, we just go through a lot of crap sometimes and people are not serious and they pull out and change their mind. And you become not one of them. That is what you prove yourself. Okay. That's how you prove yourself. I hope that was helpful.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Ali, any questions? I'm not sure when you came and when you joined back.
Yeah, sorry, I left for a bit. But yeah, I think that's useful, building that rapport with estate agents and having some ammunition, especially if you're starting off.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've got to, as I think I've mentioned before, build that credibility.
Oh, yeah. Very, very important. Very important. And I don't know when you went and came back, Ali, we were talking about emotional pain points of people that you're trying to persuade. Okay.
Yeah, so I saw that. I think you've said it on a previous training as well. I mean, most decisions are
somewhere. Yeah.
Most decisions are sort of emotional. I mean, we justify them as logical, but they tend to be emotional decisions. Yeah.
And your job is to find that emotional trigger of whosoever you're trying to persuade. Okay.
Okay.
And then you use that to your advantage. And when I say use to your advantage, not in a negative way, but in a positive way for both of you. Okay.
But I think Folake mentioned sort of that pain point for estate agents. It's not really there at the moment, but you said it's more finding the serious investors, and you have to try and.
By far, Ali. I mean, look, when I meet agents, right, I am literally on top of like, you know what, we are hungry for deals. We're looking for more deals. We've got the money ready. We have the investors ready, and they look at the enthusiasm, the energy, and I do invest that energy. I actually walk into their offices. I remember walking into their offices when it was COVID, and they wouldn't even let me in. I still did. I still went to their offices. They would come out, they would put their mask on, and they would talk with me. But I still go to their office because I want them to see me face to face.
Would you just have a placard saying, "I want any deal," and stick it on the door?
No, not any deal. Well, I would take on deals that actually really stack up well. Okay.
Yeah.
I just won't take any deal. But when I'm speaking with them, I know for sure just the enthusiasm is contagious. Okay. The vision is contagious. Okay. I do not just walk into an office and not them seeing the vision, not them seeing the energy that I bring into the deal. Does that make sense? Because remember, like I said, and you may have missed this, that they get a lot of pain. They go through a lot of pain filtering people out who are not serious, and they just want to deal with someone who doesn't give them that pain and is ready. Like, it's almost like they don't have to ask you, send us proof of funds, send us IDs, send us your CV, tell us about yourself, all of that you are actually ready with your references, with everything that they need. They don't have to come back to you 500,000 times. They don't have to chase you. Oh, have you spoken with your solicitor? No, you update them. You keep them updated by CCing them in emails and saying, and I do this every single time. If there's an update for an agent, and if I'm writing to my solicitor, I'll CC the agent and say, and then I always get that email back saying, thank you for keeping us in the loop. They are looking for people who do not give them the pain.
Can I ask, when you said you back it up with the evidence, with the funds, when you walk into the estate agent, do you do it at that point saying, here's my email to back myself up? I'm enthusiastic, but I'm backing myself up with this enthusiasm.
I've literally done that. I've sat down, and in fact, this is actually funny.
Yeah.
I walked into an estate agent. I'd viewed the property. So after the viewing, instead of calling or emailing, I went into the estate agent's office. Okay. And I went there and I said, this is what I'm proposing. And she said, okay, send us a written offer. I said, okay, I'm going to do it now. She goes, okay. And I actually said, can I sit here? She goes, are you actually going to sit here and give us give us a written offer? I said, yes. I sat there and I wrote the formal offer, attached all the IDs, attached all the references, attached the proof of funds, attached pretty much everything that they needed. IDs, proof of funds, references, and CV.
Okay.
And they get this email, and believe me not, I've had this so many times. People telling me we've not seen anyone as prepared as you are.
But you can do that prior to viewing a property as well. Even if you're just going to find out what they've got, you can be like, look, I have the intention, and here's everything you need.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
So even if before they've even shown you a deal, you can send them this email saying, here's proof of funds, here's references, here is my CV. We are hungry for deals. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. That's good to know.
It doesn't really matter how you build that trust, how you build that rapport, find a way to do it. Okay. And walking into their office is the biggest thing you will ever do. Okay. The most important thing you will do, because they want to see a person who is serious and is hungry. Okay. Like I said, I'm an agent as well. Someone calls me up, motivated, really wants to buy. I'm all happy because I know I'm going to get a deal done.
I think what I find with the estate agent is when you walk in, you know how all the eyes look at you, like they're almost starting to judge you to assess who is this guy. Is he?
That's okay.
Is he? Yeah, I think that's a bit intimidating. That's the hurdle you have to get across. That you are the real deal, really.
Yeah. You have to get over the fact that people are judging you. They always will. They always have. They always will. You have to get over that fact.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyone else has any questions? Kalpana, any questions? I don't know if you can hear me. Susan, any questions?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so it's interesting what you're saying. So I'm making notes. So basically, your ID, obviously your passport or things like that. So proof of funds is if you got a sum of money that you want to utilize. But then if you got investors as well, you're pulling those funds together. How can you manage it in that way?
Okay, so the way I tend to do it is I'd normally take proof of funds from the investors and I'd attach it with the email and then say, this is an investor on board on this project with us. Here is their ID as well. Then you've covered their GDPR and their anti-money laundering. And they may, obviously it goes to solicitors and they may ask you more questions regarding the source of funds, but that's for the solicitors and not for the agent. For the agent, all they want to see is proof of funds and the ID of the person that you've sent the proof of funds of.
Right.
I've done this many times.
Okay, cool. And then you mentioned the references. So you said one's personal, and then what's the other two
that
again?
depends on the deal, Susan. So that depends on the deal. On hotel deals, because these are lease hotel deals, we had to provide a personal, a professional, and a landlord reference. Now, I have not been a rented property for 14, 15 years, okay? I still had to go back to that old 14-year-old landlord and say, can you write me a reference? And he did.
Right, right.
So again, it depends on the deal. A development deal would not require a landlord reference. It only require a personal and a professional reference.
Got it, got it. And then LinkedIn, obviously, would you advise to set up a separate LinkedIn?
No.
Because obviously.
No, never do double. You'll get blocked by LinkedIn and people will just get confused. Okay.
So mine's got all my corporate jobs that I've done as an accountant.
That's fine. You've got a good CV there. You've been a mayor, right?
A governor, a director as well, and chair.
So that's a fantastic CV. I do not know how anyone can look at your CV and say she's been a governor and not trust you. I do not see that. Okay. But again, you have to be creative with your CV as well. When I said CV, I mean LinkedIn profile. You have to be creative. You have to be creative. Come on. I can sit down and write the definition of a cleaner in 10 times better way. Okay. So you have to be creative with your CV. with your professional appearance online. Okay, I changed my LinkedIn a little bit yesterday. You know, something that I'd been thinking of for a long time. If you go on my LinkedIn now, you'll actually find my direct number on my LinkedIn short bio. Okay, that's because I want people to be able to have access to me directly, even though I get killed with calls sometimes. Okay, but I still want people to have access to me. That's how you do business.
Right. So I need to just have a look at your LinkedIn as a good example.
Do have a look.
Right. So send me your LinkedIn in the group here. I'll have a look.
If you write Jack Dawhra, you'll find me everywhere.
Okay. And then the other one is website.
You'll find my personal website as well as the company website.
So in relation to myself, starting out with this, doing some other bits and pieces, how can I kind of should I pull things together, or, because obviously there's different type of strategy. Are we just referring to lease option hotels, or are we looking at other things as well?
No, building rapport is whatever context you use it in. That doesn't matter, right? You're building, you're persuading, or you're building your rapport or your trust, right? That depends on your context. But having your presence and being ready is irrespective of the deal or irrespective of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You need that anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you're looking for more investors. If you have a good LinkedIn profile, they will go and check. If you have a personal website, they might go and check. If you have a great Facebook page or a group community, they'll go and check all of that. If you've done events, or if you've done videos, if you've done blogging, they will go and check all of that. And people can tell. I tend to take people a bit more serious when they are vlogging, because then they're sharing their experience. Okay, that means they're serious about their career, their professional life. Are you with me?
Yeah. So it's leaving that positive footprint.
It is. So if you check my footprint, I mean, go on LinkedIn profile, you see, articles and newsletter, all sorts of things, right? Newsletters. I have a newsletter with 3,700 subscribers. Okay, on LinkedIn. Okay, so it's all about, and there's loads of blogs I've written, and then obviously videos. I can't even remember how many there are. Hundreds of hours of videos on YouTube. There are me interviewing people. All of this makes a difference because you're proving that you are that one that stands out and that you're the serious one.
So what would you advise you give for somebody starting out who haven't got those experiences?
Start now. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Don't make it any more complicated, Susan. It's very, very simple. Start now. What is the one thing that you can think about right now that you can write that's very unique to your experience? Go and write an article and publish it on LinkedIn.
Right.
Then share with the community. Okay, start now, start today. Go and interview someone that actually inspires you. Put it on your YouTube channel. Okay, I get asked this, and I think it's she's not here, but I remember she'd asked me quite some time ago, what's the point of doing these interviews? Well, you do them, you will see what happens. Okay, people take you more seriously, you build more trust, more rapport, and when you actually need something, you need money, you need deals, you want to actually do business with people, well, people will take a lot more interest than someone who's doing all of this.
So basically, what we're doing is raising our profile so somebody can have a look at our footprint, that we're being serious. So we're passionate about what we do, passionate about property. And then because we have that, we are doing different things on LinkedIn. And I might not have done a big fat deal, but I'm working towards that. And I've got people around me who possibly interested in investing as well.
Share about what you do. I mean, I tell people I've got nearly £1 billion worth of stock on our portal, but now that doesn't mean that I'm doing £1 billion worth of business. It doesn't mean that. Just because I put it on the portal doesn't mean I sell every single one of them. In fact, I only sell a very small percentage.
And then the other question is, can we actually use, obviously being in this space with you, can we leverage?
Of course you can.
For what we do?
You're a representative. Of course you can.
That's what I want to be working on as well.
So you can connect your LinkedIn profile with the PN page and then write on your short bio that you are a PN rep. That will help you leverage in and itself. That will help you leverage in and itself. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Got it.
Good stuff. Okay. Again, going back to the main core subject of today is, remember, building trust and working on that emotional trigger is very, very important. Most agents are frustrated dealing with stupid people. I'm sorry. Okay. Most investors are frustrated dealing with people who are not delivering. Okay. Most landlords are frustrated with dealing with agents who do not deliver. Just don't be that person who doesn't deliver. Be that person who really, really, really delivers. Okay. Just really, really delivers. Really, it's almost like you say something and you make sure that you get it done, because those are the people trust. Those are the people who stand out, and those are the people who just progress. That's it. It's not rocket science. And like I said, focusing on that emotional trigger, understanding what someone's emotional trigger is, will help you get sales. Either you're looking for more deals or you're selling more deals. You're looking for more investors, or you're looking to invest in someone else's projects, but trying to attract the right people or right deals, or anything that you're trying to do within business. You need to be able to learn to do stakeholder management, which at the core is persuasion. And in that is your logic, emotional triggers. Okay. In fact, the main job of a leader is to grow a business, to scale a business. But then at the core, leading a person, you can only lead a person when you actually know what their emotional triggers are. Otherwise, you can't lead a person. How can you lead a person? You can't. You can only lead a person when you know their emotional triggers. What is it that they actually want from their life? Freedom, time, money? I don't know. You need to know their emotional triggers. And never, remember, the skills that you're learning here, they can be very easily used to manipulate people. I pronounce it wrong. Very easily to manipulate people. Please do not do that. The aim of learning all of this is just to use it for the benefit of people. Never use it in the wrong way. Okay. Good stuff. Any more questions, Susan?
No, I think that's what I wanted to find out. So I just need to get some structure as well. Obviously, it's my first day here, but I obviously need to get some structure because I know people. I just need to sort myself visually. Yeah. And then move.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. You'll get there. Ali, any questions?
No, that's fine. Thanks, Jack.
Good stuff. Fortune, I don't know when you joined. Any questions?
No questions, not today. Thank you.
Kalpana, Shali?
No, I'm okay.
Good one. And
none for me, Jack. Thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
Good stuff. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you all next week. Okay? Maybe even earlier. We'll see if I do another session.
What day next week, please? Sorry.
It's Monday. The trainings have been moved to Monday, 5 o'clock. So it will be next week, Monday, 5 o'clock. I may do an extra session depending on how busy, quiet I am. But expect Monday anyway, Monday, 5 o'clock. Okay?
Well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Have an amazing evening, and I'll see you all very soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks very much. Bye.